Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in. Now I must say, this is relevant. I'm convinced by God's word, so I won't break conviction. I'd rather be controversial for the Great Commission. In the culture, not of it, won't forsake the Christians. I just pray you obey and embrace His writings. I won't be swayed by these new age traditions. Back to the subject at hand, let's take a listen. This is for those on a lazy, knowledgeable mission, who sits in the house reading the popular Christians. They'll debate your whole eschatological system and define words like complementarianism. Yo, their talk and their walk, a lot of it's different. It seems making disciples is not in their interest. They read Piper, they know the right words to say, but it's still a lot of religion. As far as disciples, you would think they would have many, but when you take a look, they don't have any. They should get smacked in her head with a bag of pennies. I'm kidding, but for this track, I'm glad I'm venting. It's not a grand sight to see you read all these Johnny Mac books, but can't impact a man's life. Much joy is offered when you avoid the vultures. Drop your Jonathan Edwards book and employ the culture. I guess it's safe to say that we need help. It's time for the reform camp to see self. Now let's look to Christ, cause we don't need self. We're on a ride now, buckle your seatbelts. Now let's go, cause you know that we need help. It's time for the reform camp to see self. Now let's look to Christ, we don't need self. We're on a ride now, buckle your seatbelts. Your lifestyle already shows a depiction. A lot of saints nowadays are boasting in missions. You'll go to Africa, Asia, Panama, Malaysia. If it's out of state, you're showing some interest, but something seems quite weird. Let's focus a minute. You seem pretty hardcore and open to vision, but if I go to your neighborhood, it don't seem very good, cause people there don't even know you're a Christian. And it's funny how this is all in the Bible. You run around, be still, and make a disciple. You drive 100 miles so you can give them the gospel. But what about your town? Just don't sit and be idle. Hit the streets up, head up to the colleges. My first years as a saint, I never would have thought of this. This is our angle, and we can reach gangs too and draw bloods like a professional phlebotomist. I guess it's safe to say that we need help. It's time for the reform camp to see self. Now let's look to Christ, cause we don't need self. We're on a ride now, buckle your seatbelts. Now let's go, cause you know that we need help. It's time for the reform camp to see self. Now let's look to Christ, we don't need self. We're on a ride now, buckle your seatbelts. It's true, our hope's near to Calvary, but why debate others on soteriology? Yet you don't let others and folks hear of the canceling debt that was over our cold ears, and haggling won't save your friends. Now so fear him actually, oh dear, because it's so weird your apathy hold near to the Son, the one who was hung. And after this track, got no peers is mad at me. All I ask is if you don't spread a bunch of rumors. Yeah, I listen to Mark Driscoll. What's it to you? I'm in His word, but I wish I was running sooner, cause Jesus' name holds more weight than 100 tumors. When it comes to this mission, often you doubt it. You need to be in the mission, stop talking about it. Much joy is offered when you avoid the vultures. Drop your Jonathan Edwards book and employ the culture. I guess it's safe to say that we need help. It's time for the reform camp to see self. Now let's look to Christ, cause we don't need self. We're on a ride now, buckle your seatbelts. Now let's go, cause you know that we need help. It's time for the reform camp to see self. Now let's look to Christ, we don't need self. We're on a ride now, buckle your seatbelts. We need help to see self. We're on a ride now, buckle your seatbelts.